The Pixel People Pod. Snap, 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 it's on. Rewind the future fraud. The Pixel People Pod.
Welcome to the Pixel People podcast, brought to you by Cyndi Lauper. It's our first week of honoring Cyndi Lauper with our new name.
She always wants to have fun.
Yeah. Chris?
I'm not going to comment on that.
Okay. Man, I got these mics way too loud. Hang on. Welcome back, everyone. Our first episode back after our mega-sode last week, which is doing gangbusters. Thank you. People like to hear us argue, apparently. This week is our Pixel People Icons episode, our second. First was Michael Jackson. This time it's Madonna, which just happened to work out weirdly after we argued last week over the final song and ended up being Madonna. Then I just happened to check the schedule, and the next episode was a Madonna episode.
She's everywhere.
Well, she's been on every one of these podcasts, it seems like.
Yeah. She's definitely a big part of the 80s, and she'll be a big part of the podcast this week. So before we get to that, as always, we have Jan's Gnarly News.
Here we go. Jan's Gnarly News. Jan's Gnarly News.
Be our lucky star and give us that news, Jan.
You got it. August 17th, 1980-something, Jan's Gnarly News. August 17th, 1981, Billy Squier released a single, The Stroke.
That's the song I've talked about. My grandmother had a stroke, and I was afraid to play that song around my mom because I was afraid I'd upset her. And I told her that years later. She goes, "That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life."
I didn't realize that Billy Squier was 14 when he started his first band.
Seriously?
Yes, 14.
Yeah. I mean, that's how you make it. It started early.
The Stroke was named the 59th best hard rock song of all time by VH1.
Really? I could see that.
I never considered that hard rock, but...
Yeah, that was
Me
a hit.
either. It's just like adult contemporary anymore.
Yeah, but back then, that was really hard rock. I mean, if you listen to it, it's heavy guitar. It is. I mean, I love that. I bought the K-Tel record just for that song back then.
K-Tel.
Yeah, I still have it. I'll take a picture of that and post it up this week. The record.
We never did take a picture of the Billy Squier painting that I did.
Yeah, we got to do that. We'll put that up in the picture of the album. We'll lay them next to each other and put it up there. So, yeah, that was a good song. Billy Squier, God, where would he be if he hadn't done that video? He was a guitar god, and then
I wish he would tour.
I know he put a song out a couple years ago, and he was on Eddie Trunk talking about it on Sirius, and he's old. He just don't want to do it. He's in his.
So is Mick Jagger, but he still tours.
Yeah, but that guy will be doing that till he's 100. Some
Good
guys,
genes.
Which is next week.
I had a cool thing as a fanboy. I had a cool experience the other night where Richie Blackmore performed with Deep Purple for the first time since '93, and I'm a big Deep Purple fan. And he's not really played any metal or electric guitar for the last 30 years. He does Renaissance fair music with his wife Candace, and he's usually playing a lute instead of electric guitar. And he did get Rainbow back together a couple years ago and played like 2 or 3 festivals with it, but it wasn't a whole lot. But those guys hated each other, and just out of the blue, he messaged him and said, "Hey, can I come up and play the encore with you because you're playing near my house?" And he was like, "Yeah." So they brought him out, and I was all stoked for it, but I had tempered my excitement. Then I saw it, and it was very cool, but our heroes are old now. He wasn't playing as good as he normally, which is fine. He hasn't played electric guitar a whole lot, and you throw a guy up on an encore like that, but his wife should know. She really looks out for his career and his image and all that stuff, and which is kind of cool because she's had his back.
I do the same thing for you.
Right, and I would like to think that you would not do what she did. He is 81, and my dad's 83, and my dad lets me pick his shoes out, and I got him some cool blue Brooks and all that stuff. He was up there in like jogging pants, which didn't look that bad because he wears like Renaissance fair outfits anyway. But he had on white tennis shoes that looked like they were the ones he wore for like 5 years, and he had on white socks. And he looked like an old man walking up on there, and I just felt bad. The rest of the guys have been touring nonstop, forever since he left, and they're all 80-something, but they're still fit and look cool, and he looked like an old man they brought up there, and it just made me sad. But, he's still going, so.
He is an old man,
He is, but you can not look the look. You can be the age, but not look the look. And the white tennis shoes on anybody over like 70, you're giving up. Am I wrong on that, Chris?
Oh yeah, I absolutely have one pair of white tennis shoes, and they are white, but they're like light gray, so the white's barely a color on it.
Yeah.
But that would be the closest to white that I don't even wear white socks.
There's,
But do
I'm
you
not
wear
giving up on
socks with
life.
sandals?
yeah, do you wear socks with sandals?
No, I do not.
I don't even wear sandals.
I don't own a pair of sandals, but I never, when I did have a pair, I never wore socks with them.
When you get over like 70 and you wear the white tennis shoes, the next step before a wheelchair is Velcro. And so I'll refuse. I'll pay somebody. Jen, we got to start saving up now. If you're not around or somebody, I'll pay somebody one of my 80s to tie my shoes because I'm not doing Velcro.
Velcro is so
Well, just get the
fun, though.
slip on sneakers.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I got a pair of Hey Dudes, but I don't know how much support that'll give me in my 80s. But anyway, that's probably why he doesn't tour. It's like I don't want people to see me as an old man. But I've seen him. He still looks pretty cool for his age, Billy Squire. So who knows? Maybe he will one day. That's one we go see, right?
Oh, I would be there.
Yeah. See, Jan's
In
big.
Newton.
Yeah, no, he toured. He could sell out amphitheaters. Jan loves Billy Squire, and she painted a picture of him back. Is it high school or after?
That was college.
Yeah, and it's very cool, and it's hanging up on our wall up there. And we'll take a picture and
It's
post it.
monochromatic.
Yeah, it's very cool. And I'll take a picture and post it of the Sammy Hagar pointillism you did for me too. That's very cool. Jan is a gifted artist as well as a news bringer, people. So.
All right. August 17th, 1982, Philips introduced the world's first commercial compact disc.
What year was that?
1982.
Yeah, that makes sense. And you know why that hit me? Wow, that probably makes sense. In the movie The Wedding Singer, it's set in 84, and they hadn't really, just really got out there yet. And he buys her a CD player, and she's like, "Well, you play records on it?" He's like, "No, you play compact discs." And I remember that because what year that movie was set, because his ex-girlfriend puts on his Van Halen shirt, and he goes, "Take that off, you jinxed the band," and they break up. So that would have been 84.
ABBA was the very first popular artist to release an album on CD. They released their 1981 album Visitors.
I thought Billy Joel was the first one to release an album on CD.
Okay, so 50 more titles were released in Japan on October 1st, 1982, one of which was a re-release of Billy Joel's 52nd Street.
The ABBA thing makes sense because...
But for Americans, we had to wait a couple more years for our first stateside CD release. And it was Bruce Springsteen, Born in the USA.
There you go, Chris.
Oh, aren't we lucky?
September
Yay.
of 84.
Ooh.
You asked, Chris.
Yeah, you asked for it.
No, I was
ABBA's...
just saying, Billy Joel's always been, I've always heard and always seen that Billy Joel released the very first CD. They never said in the country what country,
Well,
but I've
Right.
always
The first
seen where it was Billy
stateside
Joel.
one was Bruce Springsteen.
The ABBA thing makes sense, though, because that band, I never realized was as huge as they were until they retired. And you realize they're like ungodly big worldwide. So that would make total sense that they were like the first to put that out. And they were the first to have like recurring holograms shows now. So there you go.
August 17th, 1983, Prince released the single Delirious. Dun, dun,
See, that would have
dun,
been another
dun,
one.
dun,
That's
dun,
such a great song. That's 83.
83 from the
Yeah.
album 1999.
I wonder if that's... Oh, okay. Yeah,
That was the third single that he released. The one before it was Little Red Corvette.
Oh, such a good song, which might be my favorite. That's the double entendre stuff in Little Red Corvette is so great. Like he probably listened to some AC/DC and was like, "Let me show you how to write a double entendre song," and he does it.
All right, this next one is just for Greg and Greg only.
Okay.
Because nobody else
Okay,
cares.
I'm turning off.
Nobody else
Hanging
cares.
out.
All right.
Okay. August 17th, 1984, Wasp released their self-titled album.
Such a great. Chris cares. He went and saw him. He didn't know many of the songs, but
I went though.
He just went for the party.
Yeah.
You just went for the party.
that's a great album. That has a lot of great stuff on it. Tormentor. Yeah, I'm going to tormentor you tonight by playing that album.
No, you're not.
I might listen to that when I go to bed tonight.
I got somewhere to go.
Yeah, so
I got that place I got
Wasp
to.
is criminally underrated. Blackie Lawless is a gift to our ears.
I mean,
So-
they are sex perverts.
Yeah,
or Satan's Priest. I
Yeah.
don't know which one they are. They're one of those two.
Or
I think they're
just
both.
or just named after bugs. You know, I'm gonna throw some meat at somebody this weekend just in honor of Blackie and that album coming out.
Nice.
So
All right. August 17th, 1985, Highwayman was released.
Highwayman.
Highwayman.
Oh, Highwayman. Who's that?
Highwayman.
Who
You
did
don't know
that?
Highwayman?
No, I knew the Highwayman, but
Highwayman? Highwayman.
yeah,
Willie Nelson, Waylon Jennings.
that's the Highwayman, ain't it?
Highwayman was
The-
the song.
Oh, really? I didn't know that. I just know that.
Yeah, I was getting a little confused there.
Yeah, that's
with,
okay. Interesting.
Highwayman, but I know what song she's talking about for
That's
sure.
That was the equivalent of the country Traveling Wilburys. That band was, I
Yes,
think.
it was.
Who was Willie, Waylon, Chris Christopherson,
Johnny.
and yeah, John, yeah,
Johnny Cash.
yeah. Was that it?
Yeah.
The four, yeah,
Right.
yeah. That's a lot of albums sold in that for. Chris Christopherson's like the oddball one on there, but you know,
That song won a 86 Grammy for Best Country Song.
yeah. I know the song that we're talking about is a great song. There's a lot of great super groups in the 80s.
Yeah.
Released August 17th, 1986, Eddie Money's single Take Me Home Tonight.
Featuring who else?
Joe Dirt.
Oh.
Just
The
like
female?
Ronnie
Are you talking
says.
about the female?
Ronnie.
Yeah, the
Ronnie.
It was Ronnie.
yeah.
Ronnie.
What was her last name?
You should know her last name is very famous. It was her she was a gorgeous black woman and she's married to a nerdy white guy and her last name was his last name.
LaFonda.
No.
LaFonda.
No. Ronnie Spector.
You know what that's from?
Right, yeah, I know Napoleon Dynamite.
Okay.
Ronnie
Yeah.
Spector.
Yep.
Phil
Gotcha.
Spector. Yeah.
Okay.
Isn't he the guy that killed somebody?
Yeah, and pulled a gun on a bunch of other people. He's a lunatic.
He was the white nerd,
Yeah, Ronnie Spector.
and he's a lunatic?
He can produce
Yes,
some
he was
music,
crazy.
though.
That guy produced all the wall of sound like the Beatles and the one that Paul McCartney went and took the Let It Be album. Said I'm taking the Phil Spector stuff out of it. He was great in the studio, but he was a lunatic, and he used to pull guns on people. If he wasn't done, he'd pull a gun like I'll shoot you if you stay. He pulled a gun on the Ramones. He did a Ramones album, pulled a gun on the Ramones,
That's funny.
and he's one of them guys that got his way everything he did, and then he.
Well, if you pull a gun on somebody, you're going to get your way.
Yeah. Well, a woman came over that he was seeing in the 90s or it might have been early 2000s, and he just shot her, killed her. And this said, I think I shot and killed somebody like it was nothing. I guess he thought he was going to get off. He's got by with it his entire life, and he murdered her. Flat out murdered her, and he's in prison. I think he died the other year. I think he finally killed over. Remember the mugshots with his big hair, and it turns out it was a wig?
Oh,
You never seen
yeah.
that?
Yes.
I'll have to
I
show you
know
that
what you're
later,
talking
Jan. It's we need to watch that movie. That's what we'll do, Jan. We're gonna watch that movie on HBO. Al Pacino played him in a movie, and I heard it's really good. I've never watched it. So yeah, he's a loon, but he could produce some music.
All right. August 17th, 1987. The Beastie Boys and Run DMC concluded their Together Forever tour at Madison Square Garden.
That would have been a great tour to see.
Well, what's funny about
Are
it
they
is
still touring together?
No.
Well, it's not forever then.
Run DMC encouraged fans to prioritize their education and steer clear of drugs. And the Beastie Boys featured cage dancers and they served beer.
But you know the funniest thing about that, it was not funny, it's sad. Then years later, the Beastie Boys are like free Tibet and all about, veganism and all this stuff. And Jam Master Jay gets shot because he's a big cocaine dealer and dies. It was the flip opposite of what you thought those two bands were.
Right.
So they just finally arrested the guy that killed him, I think in the last year. Turns out he was like dealing serious cocaine and stuff, Jam Master Jay was. Yeah.
As opposed to unserious cocaine.
Yeah, I mean, a couple lines versus a garbage bag full of it, There's serious and
So-
unserious cocaine.
No Scarface. He was Scarface level.
Yeah, he was getting there, yeah. Scarface in Brooklyn, yeah. So,
All right. August 17th, 1988. Guns N' Roses released the single Sweet Child of Mine.
great song. So,
I didn't realize Axel wrote this when he was 19.
really? Did he say what it was about? Do you know?
He wrote it for his girlfriend, Erin Everly,
Oh, really?
who we know is
You know
the daughter of Don Everly.
Really? Huh. From the Everly Brothers?
You know,
Did not know
yeah.
that.
You know how you said in our megasode that you just were tired of Pour Some Sugar on Me?
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
That's the way I am with those songs from that album. They're overplayed.
I
It's-
got that
They're
way at
great
one.
songs. They're great songs, but I could go
I got that way at
years
one
without
point,
hearing
but
them and be fine.
I come back around on it now where I listen about everything on it. But
I skip Welcome to the Jungle and Sweet Child of Mine
yeah,
a lot.
yeah,
But the other
Yeah, I
ones,
would
Yeah.
agree that they have some good stuff on there besides those two mega hits. But it's just, I mean, I don't know. I think maybe the way they tour now and the sound of them now, it taints the way I feel about them back in the day. And they're played over and over and over. And I get it why they're such phenomenal songs.
yeah. They need to take a couple years off, Chris. They've been touring nonstop for 10 years since they got back with Slash and Duff, and since those three got together. And they need to take like 4 or 5 years off, let him rest his voice, work on some new music, come out. They've run it in the ground a little bit, because I saw somebody the other week on my music board saying that, like, Live Nation, them go to them and say, like, here's $250 million for you to tour this summer. Okay. And they split it up. Then Live Nation books everything. And they were booking them all in stadiums, and now the stadiums are only like 3/4 full, and they're playing some, indoor places, and it's like they're starting to lose I saw them. I don't need to see them now. They need to take some time off.
Yeah, I agree. I've never seen them live. Well, I got not really privileged, but I got to see AC/DC with Axel when he filled in.
Yeah, I wish
And
I
it
saw that.
was terrible. It
Yeah.
was like, it was not great. And then his voice has not gotten any better.
Well, I saw him in 2018, and it was musically the best show I've ever seen in my life. So that was spectacular. It was great.
I guess I saw them in '89.
Yeah, you saw them in their prime. Yeah.
Yep.
What did they show up on time? Do you remember?
Gosh, I don't remember.
Probably
that.
not.
Yeah, they probably
don't
didn't.
remember.
They tainted themselves too with a lot of people with the whole them and Metallica tour.
Yeah.
With that whole thing, I had a friend that went to that.
Yeah, I gotta still show that to Jan.
I think he said it was like a 2.5 hour break.
Yeah.
Between, because they wouldn't use the same stage. They had to tear down.
It wasn't even just that. Axel sometimes be like, I don't feel like going on it. He's supposed to go on like 10. He's like, I don't feel it. Wait till I feel it. Then he'd go on like midnight, and the crowd would be about ready to riot. He was notorious for that crap, and that you lose me as a fan, you pull that stuff. But he don't do that now. He's grown up. But I need to show that to you, Jan. We started watching that one thing on the Metallica. They're making the Black Album.
Mm-hmm.
The flip side of that DVD is that tour where all that stuff happens, and the tour's awesome to watch because Metallica were so professional, and Guns N' Roses. Well, Guns N' Roses were, Axl wasn't. You see Slash and Duff and them hanging out in Metallica's dressing room because they just don't want to be around Axl, and you realize those guys all were enjoying themselves, and like Axl was off somewhere, just being Axl. So it's kind of wild to see how he's changed a lot over the years.
Okay, there you have.
Hey, hold on.
Okay.
Hey, don't end yet.
Okay.
So we just talked about Guns N' Roses. I told you how much I'm not a big fan of their voice and the way they do stuff.
Yep.
Tonight, Monday the 17th,
Yes.
I am going to hang on, everybody who's listening in this pod world. I'm going to the Motley Crue show in Charlotte tonight. I'm going for Tesla and Extreme, and then I'm leaving.
Chris,
But I'm going because
Chris.
I was like, I'm gonna go. I'm not gonna stay. You've asked me to stay. I'm not going to. I'm leaving after that. But I just thought I would say, as much as I've dissed Motley on this, and I will continue, that I'm actually going to the concert tonight. Not to see them, but I'll be there.
For someone that disses Motley Crue so much, I'm pretty sure you're a closeted Crue fan. This proves it.
Listen, we'll have this debate all day. The best album they ever put out was the one that Vince Neil did not lead sing on.
Yeah, well, you've told us. You never told us that before.
No one mentioned Motley Crue tonight.
Yeah.
For the record.
Yeah.
No, but I was just saying because I was saying about how Motley, I'm not a big fan, but I don't think Guns should tour anymore because of the voice and just issues that way. I don't think Motley Crue should be touring anymore. But once again, it's like money. That's as much money they're making. So
yeah,
I'll be there tonight.
I actually don't fault any of those bands though, because if you get throwing money at you, they were.
I don't blame you either, but I think you gotta
listen to
have
Eddie.
Some discretion.
Listen to Eddie Trunk here last week, and he was talking about Rod Stewart, how he would postpone some more stuff because he had to have heart surgery, but he's gonna. He said, it's like some minor heart thing. Is I'm gonna come back and do my tour and finish it. And he was like, I don't get it. These guys don't need the money, and I don't know why. I've said it before. I know why. Because it's so much fun playing live music. And when you've done that your entire life, I don't care if you're 30 or 80, especially if you're 80. That's why the Stones and Deep Purple keep touring all their stuff, because if you're 80 and yeah, you're an old man and you're 80 and you might feel broken down on that stuff, but those 2 hours you're on stage, you still feel like you're 30. As long as they keep doing it, they think they've still got a lot of time ahead of them. That's why those guys
Yeah,
keep
when
doing
you
it.
have 15, 20,000 people cheering your name.
Yeah, it's hard to give that.
Yeah,
That's a
I mean,
drug.
It's an adrenaline, dude. I
Yeah.
know. I got it. I get it.
Like
I
the
just-
80s song
I
says,
just-
forever young.
Yeah.
I want to be
Yeah.
forever
Yeah,
young.
they never. But a lot of these bands never listen to Def Leppard. It's better to burn out than fade away. So,
Yeah.
yeah. Nobody wants to burn out anymore, and they sure don't want to fade away.
No,
So-
they don't.
All right, Jan.
There you have Jan's Gnarly News.
Oh, gnarly.
Thank
With
you, Jan.
a little bit of Chris fanboying on Motley Crue.
Yeah. Here we go. Chris's not so gnarly news.
Yeah, that's probably not going to be a big hit.
You're gonna give us a rundown next week on the show, though, right? At least the one that you see, the parts you
Oh
see.
yeah, on the two. Yeah, the two I'm going to. Absolutely.
Closeted Crue fan.
Yeah,
Fan.
yeah.
Absolutely
Chris sits
not.
at home in his shout at the devil pajamas and
Yep.
Yeah, and my bed sheets and stuff.
yeah.
Like
Your theater of pain
I'll be
bed sheets. So
Oh, I
I'll be
had
sitting in
Theater
my
of Pain
office-
earrings in the 80s.
You did?
I still
bet
have
you
those.
do. I'll be sitting in my office at work, and then they'll be playing the 80s and 90s, whatever, and they'll be like girls click. They'll be Dr. Phil.
well, I do that, but then as soon as
There'll be
like
those
shout at the
songs.
devil comes on, I turn it up to like 9.
Click.
Anything before girls, I'll crank up Motley Crue. So, all right. Well, that brings us to this week's topic: 80s icon Madonna. It just, yeah. It's just weird
Never heard
that
of her.
it's just weird that this popped up after we argued over her music last week, but it worked out pretty good because she's a hot topic right now, and she was in the 80s for sure. This one I was thinking about today. It's like, I was thinking about, we did the Michael Jackson one, and then I was thinking, okay, we'll do a Prince one, but Madonna is right up there with Michael Jackson. She's the female equivalent of Michael Jackson as far as the 80s goes, as far as musical icons go. Nobody was touching her music-wise as far as the only one was Michael
Whitney
Jackson.
Houston.
She wasn't touching Madonna for the whole decade, though. She didn't come around to like 88. Madonna was
Who
there
was that?
from...
Whitney.
Whitney.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You said?
Madonna's,
Yeah.
from like 83 on was like,
Janet Jackson was pretty big too.
yeah, but she was more late 80s, early 90s too. Because I remember Rhythm Nation, all that was my senior year in high school. I was 90. So,
Paula Abdul.
yeah, that was late 80s, early 90s. And she wasn't on Madonna's level. I'm talking about movies.
Olivia Newton-John.
Yeah, but she was an actor turned singer. That's different. Nobody, think
Madonna-
about it. But the only one I can think of is, if you're going to say as far as like influence, as far as more than music, was, and they talk about it in what is it, Fast Times at Ridgemont High? Was it Pat Benatar? People were trying to attain her look, the girls of that, the early 80s. But she was, done by 85 as far as being like a big icon. But Jen,
Dolly
can you think,
Parton.
that's what I was want to ask you about. What did Madonna like do for you in the 80s? I know you were like a hard rock girl and metal girl like that, but Madonna, though, how did it hit you?
I still loved Madonna. I mean, to me, her songs pretty much rocked.
Yeah,
But what drew me to Madonna was her look.
yeah, that's what
I
I'm
wanted to look like Madonna. I mean, she just had this look about her.
yeah,
And when she would wear her hats and her gloves and her jackets and blue jean stuff with lace stuff, it all just was perfectly put together on her. And it made you want to look like her.
So yeah, I mean that's I want to definitely ask you about that, because I was wondering if you were. I mean, you talked about it when we watched Desperately Sick and Susan. That you loved her look and all this stuff.
Yeah.
But so some little stuff about her. She was born August 16th, 1958, in Bay City, Michigan. You don't think of her as a Michigan person if you think about it now. You always assume. I think of her as like a New York.
New York.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
Vogue.
yeah, I was looking up stuff on her.
Michigander.
Yeah, I was looking up stuff on her, and there was a great thing I saw. It was like explain Madonna, and it said Madonna didn't just participate in 80s pop culture; she engineered it. What set her apart from her peers was her complete control over her image, sound, and visual presentation. She transformed MTV from a promotional tool into a primary artistic platform, setting the blueprint for modern multimedia stardom. And you might think that's hyperbole, but it's not, though, if you think about it, because, I mean, Elvis, but Elvis was a movie and all that. That was back then, but she engineered her look and all this stuff. I mean, getting signed to a record label pushing you don't hurt, but I guess Elvis, would she be like the female equivalent of Elvis as far as like people wanting to dress like her, and she got into acting and commercials, and I guess Michael Jackson too. But I as much as I don't know a lot of, besides the glove and the jacket, I don't really remember. Chris, do you remember anybody our age, boys, that wanted to dress like Michael Jackson?
No, but I remember they wanted to dance like
Yeah.
him and stuff like that. But I think with Madonna, and like I wasn't a fan of Madonna when I was younger. It's something I've grown to appreciate more as I've gotten older. But I think she was. You mentioned Elvis. Elvis was like a pioneer of the look and all this. I'm talking about how he separated himself.
Oh yeah.
She didn't have anybody that I can think of to lay that groundwork for females before her. She was like, I'm going to blaze my own trail. Here's what I'm going to do. I might look at the way Elvis did it, but I can't think of a woman, a major artist woman that had everything she had before she came around.
Can you, Jen? Do you think of anybody
No.
that would?
Mm-mm.
I'm trying to think of like a Motown person or something, but really that
But
was
that was
a whole separate.
Motown was Motown.
Yeah,
they were all Motown artists. That was like they were all. She kind of just like
Yeah,
like I'm a woman. I'm gonna take control of this.
there was somebody like Marilyn Monroe as far as like the look and stuff, but she didn't sing. She did, but it wasn't very good. It's not. They were known just for being a sex symbol. Madonna was definitely a sex symbol, but she was also talented. So she when she was 19, she moved to New York in 1978. She was actually going to the University of Michigan, taking their dance program. And she was like, screw it, and took a flight to New York City with hardly any money and just basically like, I'm going to make it or not. She had studied modern dance. I'm sure that's helped her, While she worked as a coat check at the Russian Tea Room in New York and lived in an East Village walk-up. And that's when she was taking modern dance and all that stuff. And I'm sure, I've always heard that she like plotted out everything she was doing. And I'm sure that was a big part of it, the dance. And I read that she had played guitar and drums, but I know that she learned guitar a lot. If she did, she barely played it, because I know in the last 20 years I saw where she was taking guitar lessons and trying to learn more. When she did that cover of American Pie, that's the song, right? Is that the name of the song?
I think it's,
yeah.
yeah.
I don't know why I was thinking American Pie sounds like the wrong name for that song, but because I guess
it's also a movie.
Those movies have ruined that and the dessert. I know she played guitar on that when she did it live. So, but I don't know how true that was. But she created a demo tape and was handed out to everybody, and the song was called Everybody, and they were playing it in these clubs and stuff because it's like a dance song, and that was helped get her signed in '82 to a record deal, which is interesting because there's so many stories of those guys in the 70s and 80s who would cut their own demo and copy their own cassettes and just hand them out. Then later on, it was people burning their CDs and handing them out to people, But back in the day, it was like, you got to get this cassette, somebody let them hear it, It's funny because the whole thing, is Airheads the movie, Chris, where he's got the cassette?
Yeah, and they take over the radio station.
Yeah, she throws the cassette out the window. You just got to get your cassette to the right person, and you're thinking like, once they hear it, they're going to sign me, And
well, for back then, the way that she had to do it, I think I don't want to disparage or talk bad about any modern artist, but it's easier now for them to break through because of social media. Then she had to just work night and day, just beating, so much work went into getting to where because then you had to record it. You had to make copies of the recording. You had to go out and give it away. You had to play clubs. You had to do that. Nowadays, people can just like post on TikTok or YouTube or whatever, and then they can just grow themselves that way. It was more grassroots back then.
The problem, though, with what you're saying, though, is I think it is helpful and hurtful because you can grow yourself that way and get big really fast. But it also hurts you because you can get too big real fast and you flash in the pan. There's a lot of that now.
The problem with it, though, is you could have like 3 or 4 big songs, social media that blow up on YouTube and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then as soon as you put out something that's not considered great,
you're dumped by the algorithm.
You're forgotten about. You're done.
Yeah.
So, back then, they put out the whole album and they just went and they toured. And I saw some artists I don't know who it was this week, saying, yeah, they don't really think albums are a thing anymore. It's like they're going to just put out like singles now or like EPs. Like putting out a full album isn't really the way to do things anymore.
Well, they're probably
some
right though.
artists said
They're
that.
probably right though, because I mean that's how it was back in the 50s and it's come full circle. Albums really didn't take off till the mid 60s up and became a big deal in the 70s and 80s, but it was always put out a single, get your song out, and a lot of bands now, especially, and I'm not against that actually. There's a lot of classic rock bands now that just like, I think Sammy Hagar even said it, I'm probably done making records, but I'm not done making music. I'll put a single out, that I work on, but there's no point in putting out an album with 10, 12 songs if, you just know one or two of them are really great and the rest of it used to be you had to fill out a record. You don't have to do that anymore. But who knows how.
But the Stones just did it.
Yeah, they
and
did
it's
it.
very,
Yeah, it's great.
it's selling very well right
Yeah,
now.
it's a great album. But, how there's not everybody is a Stone. I did see that one thing that I never thought about, but about her was that she didn't have music influences so much as she was influenced by downtown club DJs and underground musicians and stuff. She didn't have like, you have a band now and you say, who is your influence? And they'll be like, oh, if they're a heavy metal band, they're like, I grew up as a Metallica fan and they influenced me. It's like she was looking at DJs and people that work in these clubs and getting people dancing. That was her inspiration, which probably is what helped her put out so many good dance songs,
It helped her express herself.
Oh, yeah. So, she put out her first album. It was called Madonna. Shockingly.
Genius.
Yeah,
Genius.
I think that should be a rule now. I think music should have went back in the day and said, your first album, if you're a singer, it has to be your name. Don't come up with a catchy name. Just
All right, our next episode is going to be Greg, Jan, Chris.
Yeah. It came out in 83. Jan, you got any stats on that as far as sales?
10 million global sales, certified 5 times platinum. It had Holiday, Borderline, Lucky Star, among others.
That's right off the bat. Those are like 3 forever hits.
Yeah.
I would have thought that when I listen to Madonna now on Spotify, I listen to the Immaculate Collection, which if you want to go and listen to Madonna when this is over and you really get in the mood to hear some of her music, and whether it's on Apple Music, Spotify, or even YouTube, look up the Immaculate Collection because that is like the greatest, might be the greatest hits collection I've ever seen. You just start playing it, hit it on shuffle. You can shuffle it, Jan. That's the greatest hits album.
I can shuffle that one.
And like every song is like, oh, I forgot about that one. Oh, I forgot about that one. Wow. They're all great. But I would have thought that like most everybody, you have that one album that's just to get you established. But man, she hit right from the start.
She had 10 number 1 albums.
Yeah. She hit right off the start with that first album. Lucky Star is such a great song, and Borderline, and well, Jan, what's her sauce?
Oh, she liked Holiday.
Yeah. So, yeah. So right after that, she would give the 1984 Video Music Awards performance. She performed like a virgin, wearing her lace corset, boy toy belt buckle, and a white wedding dress. Rolling around on the floor mid-song, she scandalized critics and captivated millions of teenagers. And I didn't have MTV, but I remember that was like a big scandalous thing, like, her rolling around. I remember seeing that on news clips, and you would see it, be in a record store and they'd have stuff playing in there, on the TVs. And that was like a big deal. I remember that, and I didn't have MTV. That's how big it was.
I just remember kind of it being scandalous.
Yeah.
And not an album that I listened to in front of my parents because I was afraid they were going to make me turn it off or throw it away.
Chris, what's the I Want Your Sex, the song that didn't you say your aunt or uncle or somebody saw it? It's like, I'm not getting that for you.
Yeah.
So I'd imagine like a virgin, somebody sees that back then with like their 13-year-old girls. Like,
I wasn't.
That.
Yeah, I'm not. I didn't buy any Madonna albums, so I never went and asked anybody for that. But yeah,
I didn't have one. She was one of those that I wasn't her demo back then, but the hits I was recording on my mixtapes. I would listen to Like a Virgin and what's the one, Chris, that you said your favorite? Material Girl. God, so good. Yeah. So her next album, 1984, was Like a Virgin. What's their sales, Jan?
21 million.
21 million.
Certified diamond.
That's the golden ticket right there as far as
Still not her highest selling album though.
No, but once you hit diamond, that's when you're like, you're in a special club. You got your people that sell a little bit of records and you fade away. Then you got your million selling albums because there's a lot of bands that have one platinum album. But you get, I don't care if you only have one of them, you get diamond status. You're in that club where at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, they probably got a special room. It's like, oh, yeah, I know you didn't have anything after that one record, but it's like Hootie and the Blowfish had one record, but they're like, you can come in the diamond room because it sold like 30 million copies.
Have you ever been to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame?
No, it's on our list to go.
Yeah, it's great.
I bet you that wedding dress is there. I know she's in the
more
Rock
than
and Roll.
likely.
Yeah.
I don't remember. We went and did the whole tour. I don't remember exactly. I've got somewhere hundreds of pictures and stuff. But.
Yeah. We're going. It's a matter of which year we go, but it's got to be here pretty soon because I really want to see it. But yeah, that was 1984. Niles Rodgers of Chic produced that record, so that explains probably why it really took off. That guy can produce some dance music. That was her first Billboard #1, the song Like a Virgin. And then Material Girl was like a big hit. I mean, I like a Virgin, but that's her biggest song, I think. But Material Girl is like, it's so fun to listen to. I'm going to listen to that this weekend.
Material.
So well crafted. I mean, we need to do just an episode on Niles Rodgers and all the stuff that he produced. And then in 85, coming off that, it was like, hey, let's throw her in movies. And Jan, what's the movie she was in then?
Let's see, 85. Well, I mean, she was in 46 feature films,
Yeah.
24 narrative films, 3 documentary films, 18 concert films, 15 short films, 3 theatrical plays,
Yeah.
theatrical, 10 TV productions, 2 TV films, and 8 TV episodes, and appeared in 17 commercials.
What movie was she in 85, though? I believe you know. You don't have to look. I'll tell you.
You just talked about it.
It's a movie called Desperately Seeking Susan. I was thinking that movie was further down the line until I looked that up today. And,
well, in 85, she made a cameo appearance in Vision Quest. That's why I didn't know
really?
which one you were going for.
Well, I mean, I just know
and
that
then
was like,
Desperately Seeking
yeah.
Susan.
It popularized her signature look, which is the big part of that movie. Which, I never saw that movie till the last 6 months when Jan made me watch it. And it was better than I thought it was going to be. But her signature look, Dan, did you ever wear any of this? The fingerless lace gloves. Did you ever do
No.
that? How about rubber bracelets?
Yes.
Were you wearing?
Yes.
That was a big girl thing in the 80s. I'm sure you weren't walking around wearing lasered crucifixes or layered crucifixes.
No.
And messy bow hairband. You still wear a bow hairband, so.
I have never worn a bow hairband.
Well, it's a hairband, right?
With
What's
a big old bow.
Oh.
Nope. Jan is not wearing
I
a bow.
don't. That shows you what I know about. I just hear hairband. I think it was like the hair.
I hear hairband.
Yeah.
I hear poison, rat, that stuff.
86, she starred alongside her then husband Sean Penn in Shanghai Surprise.
I think
That
people.
just goes to prove that you can be an ugly dude and snag
Yeah.
a beautiful woman. What's his name?
Yeah, but,
did it
okay,
with Julia Roberts.
Forget him now and forget how crazy he is and all that stuff, though. I mean, that ought to be the couple of the 80s. We should put a wall of fame of 80s couples. And Jeff Spicoli and Madonna married was like the perfect couple there for like a year. Come on. We're not looking at him now. We're looking at the Jeff Spicoli era.
No, I'm just saying, like with Lyle Lovett, he got Julia Roberts, and he, and this like Sean Penn, like Madonna was like a sex symbol. Like she was like top of the mountain in the 80s for sex symbol women, or that's what not for me personally, but I mean that's the perception. And then he's not that good looking a dude, even as Spicoli. Yeah. So I mean,
but he's Spicoli.
People love rock stars.
Yep, he's Spicoli though.
Her movie with Sean Penn got her first Golden Raspberry Award for Worst Actress.
Yeah, the Golden Raspberries.
Nice.
We got to do an episode on that sometime. The Golden.
And which movie was that they were in together? Was
Shanghai
that
Surprise.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Her next film was Who's That Girl in 87 and Bloodhounds of Broadway in 89.
Is Who's That Girl worth watching?
It says here that both of those movies were critical
I've never
and
seen
commercial
it.
failures.
She's never been known for her movies. I think
No.
Desperately Seeking Susan's the only one that people kind of liked.
Well, there's a couple that came later. Dick Tracy.
Right.
Yeah, but she bombed.
League
That
of Their
movie
Own.
bombed. Well, yeah, she was an ensemble on that one.
She actually got a Saturn Award nomination for the Dick Tracy movie.
Really?
Hmm.
I've never watched that movie just because I remember even as a kid, Sunday comics. I was a big fan of Sunday comics, but I never read Dick Tracy's not my thing.
Yeah, yeah.
And so then when that movie came out, I was like, I don't care.
She was also good in A League of Their Own, which was
Yeah.
92.
I've never seen that movie, so we got to watch it now.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
it's a decent movie.
I mean, it's Tom Hanks. I mean, it's
What's that
it's
movie?
good back in
That
his day.
almost porno movie she did, like the real R-rated steamer. Didn't she do it with one of the Baldwin brothers or something? It's not Sliver.
Body of Evidence.
Body of Evidence. That's it.
Yeah.
I watched that
Yeah.
movie.
It was also a failure.
What do
Yeah, yeah. I rented it from Video Quest down the road here back in the 90s and watched it.
And let's not forget her 1989 Pepsi commercial that she got paid $5 million for, and it was going to be to promote Like a Prayer.
Yeah.
And
Oh yeah.
it was like so scandalous
Yeah.
that Pepsi pulled out, but then they still gave her.
You
the
know how I
$5
know
million.
that? Because that was a Jan's Early News
Yes, it
item
was.
several weeks ago.
Yes, it
Yeah.
was.
But what is it about? Nobody was touching Coke ever, and Pepsi's never really come that close. But Pepsi is known for like their big commercials and big stars and all that stuff, way more than Coke ever has. Coke's just relied on the brand. Pepsi's
Because Coke tastes good, Pepsi
no,
has to pay
Pepsi's
for
great.
it.
Pepsi's great. So
Yeah, we're not having the Coke Pepsi
Yeah.
debate. They're
we'll
both
do
great.
that later. So
Yeah, but I mean, Coke is at the movie theaters. I mean, it's Coke. Yeah, when you go to every fast food restaurant, pretty much Coke. Coke's just an iconic name. That's
yeah.
why Pepsi
Jan, we'll
had to do all the other stuff.
sometimes we'll pick our restaurants by if they serve Coke products or not, because
Yes,
Jan
we
is not
do.
drinking Diet Pepsi.
But now she did redeem herself. She did go on in '96 to win a Golden Globe for Best Actress,
And
Motion
what?
Picture
For
Musical.
Evita?
Evita, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
It's a
Yeah.
musical, right? I mean, it's a no-brainer. You get somebody could sing, put them in there. So the next album on that list was 1986's True Blue. And, I mean, it had Papa Don't Preach, La Isla Bonita, and Live to Tell. What? How many did it sell, Jen?
That is her highest selling album.
Seriously?
25 million.
Why?
Because it's good. Papa Don't
mean,
Preach.
Papa Don't Preach is a great song.
Yeah,
Papa Don't
but
Preach is my favorite Madonna song.
seriously?
And it's on that album.
But I
Yeah.
don't remember Live to Tell. I don't remember that song. Do you? See, that don't pop in La Isla Bonita. I usually turn that, but
Yeah, I do too.
I don't. That's just weird. How the other one, like a Virgin Material Girl, Dress You Up. Dress You Up was so good. We forgot. Dress You Up in My Love. That's a great song. But
Mhm.
that didn't sell as much as wow. The next one was the soundtrack. That Who's That Girl soundtrack. It only hit number 7 though, so that one. I'm just doing her 80s albums really. But the True Blue album, I forgot. She produced the entire album, so there's no now. That's got to be like. You got to feel really cocky if you're her, because that last album was such a big hit, Diamond, that Nile Rodgers produced and all that stuff. And then she follows it up with an album. She's like, yeah, I'm producing this one. And it's her biggest album ever. So you can get in trouble producing your own stuff. You don't have anybody to an engineer will tell you how to fix stuff, but I read a lot of rock autobiographies and stuff, and usually when bands get full of themselves and start saying I'll produce our stuff, we'll do it ourselves.
Do you also sleep at Holiday Inns?
Yeah. They when you get to that level where you're like, we'll just produce our own stuff, thank you, you lose a little bit of quality, because nobody in that studio, engineers or sound guys, are going to tell you no, that's not good.
Yeah,
The only ones
goes out to
the only ones that really worked for the Stones, always did their own stuff throughout the 70s and 80s, and Eddie Van Halen took over when built his 5150 studio and took over from Ted Templeman and started doing their own stuff. They held up pretty good, but there was 5 big hits on that True Blue album. It was Live to Tell, Papa Don't Preach, True Blue, Open Your Heart, and which that's a great song. I See Now, and then La Isla Bonita. So Open Your Heart was huge. So that explains why that album was so
Heart
big.
surgeons love that song.
Yeah. So play that in your waiting room.
Stop.
Oh yeah, sorry, Chris.
Yeah,
That's not your
Stop.
favorite. That's not your favorite song, is it? There.
no.
The last one she did of the 80s was her Like a Prayer. What you think about that? 89. 83, she had peak number 8 was Madonna. Then she had Like a Virgin in 84, which was number 1. Usually in the 80s, if you look at big time 80s bands that aren't Prince or Michael Jackson or singers, they usually fall off after 1 or 2 records. She had that True Blue, which is her biggest album, was her third. Then, she just soundtrack out, just hits number 7. And then 89, 7 years of dominating the decade. She puts out Like a Prayer, which has Like a Prayer, Express Yourself, and Cherish, and it hits number 1 again. How many albums that one sold, Jen?
15 million.
Yeah.
5
Another
times
diamond.
platinum.
I mean, that's just a run right there in the 80s where she owned that decade, If she just put out one like 81, she would literally own the decade. But 7 years of the 10, you own that decade. And no other woman singer, they were catching her by then. Whitney Houston had that big, massive album, and you had the Cyndi Laupers that hit big and the singers, but who else was getting close as far as a female singer in the 80s to her? There wasn't. I mean, Whitney, that was it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. There was nobody that could touch Madonna in the 80s.
Yeah. And then she was, I didn't go through all that, but Jen,
Well,
you
Sean
got-
Penn could.
Yeah. Too much, actually. I mean, we have
What was that other guy?
Who?
Guy Ritchie.
Oh, Guy Ritchie. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was, yeah. We do that. We're talking about 80s icons, but I'm going to go ahead and run this down just to show how big she was and how long she stayed near the top. After the 89, everybody remember, this is a big one because I can right off the bat, as soon as I know this, I think of Saturday Night Live and Wayne's World over the song. 1982 was her Erotica album, which was 2 times platinum, but it sold 6 million worldwide, but that's the one that had Justify My Love on it. And I remember her spoofing that video on Wayne's World with Wayne and Garth, and it was one of the funniest segments they ever did on Saturday Night Live. And maybe we'll bring that up when we do our Saturday Night Live episode here in a month or so. Right after that, it was Bedtime Stories, which 3 times platinum. Now, this is 1994, so in America it went 3 times platinum, which doesn't sound like much compared to her Diamond albums, but you got to remember, 1994 is in the thick of the grunge era, and where music had totally changed, and she still sold 3 million copies of that album. I think I was done with her then. So Secret and Take a Bow were the 2 big hits. Do you know those?
I don't know those.
Yeah, I was kind of out of Madonna by then. Chris, do you know either one of them songs?
I don't. I just know like the 1 or 2, usually the massive hits,
Yeah.
like off of every album. I don't really know she was, like I told you, I was never into her until I got older. So, like, I just knew the hits, like you said, all the way through.
Well,
So,
she put another one out in 98 called Ray of Light, which actually doubled the sales on that one. And
yeah,
Ray
I
of
remember
Light
that came
and
out. That was a
Frozen.
big deal.
Yeah. And then she took off till 2000. In 2000, she had an album called Music, which went 3 times platinum and had Don't Tell Me and the song Music were hits. So, I mean, you're looking at a 17-year run where she was platinum, multi-platinum, platinum. 2003, she put out American Life, which sold 1 times platinum and had the songs American Life and Hollywood. 2005, Confessions on a Dance Floor. It sold 10 million worldwide and has Hung Up and Sorry. And then you start getting into the here's where you see a trend, and it's not necessarily against her. It's how people consume their music. 2008, Hard Candy only went gold, and the only song on it that was big was 4 Minutes featuring Justin Timberlake. And then 2012, MDNA, which only went gold. And then 2015's Rebel Heart was uncertified, and 2019's Madam X was uncertified.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you before. Had she ever had an album that didn't at least go platinum? And apparently she did.
Everything from
in the
2008
last,
on,
like,
but you can't. When comes somebody like her, that's when people started streaming and illegally downloading music, and you
How
can't
many-
really, it's just been the last 4 or 5 years. I
How
think
many streams does she have? World, like how
Yeah.
how many billion streams does she have?
I
mean,
didn't look
she's
up the
gotta
streams,
be-
but because
she's got to be billions of
oh
streams.
yeah. You know, I think they finally worked up some kind of metric where they can say, well, this is how it's an equivalent to like a platinum record by streams. But that's my only, as much as I love streaming, and I love a lot of people don't, but I do because I love having my entire record collection at my, beck and call. But I do miss that. It didn't affect me one bit. And I don't know if you and Jan were like this too. It didn't affect me. I didn't make a penny off of it, but I would root for my bands to get that platinum record. I would look at
yeah.
Billboard. I would look at Billboard
Oh,
magazine
yes.
in the store. When I start getting online, I would look up Billboard and look at the charts every week to see where my band was and see where
Well,
my
you
bands
wanted
did.
your band to like. You wanted you like. I'm not the only one who likes them. There's a million other people out there who bought this that like them as much as I
Yeah,
do. I mean, I'm
it's like rooting for a sports team.
Yeah.
And I
But
miss
hey,
that now because you can't do that now, really.
Right here, I just looked it up. It says Madonna has surpassed 12 billion total streams on Spotify across all credits. She's the first female artist who debuted in the 80s to reach this major streaming milestone.
Okay, well,
That's
see
just Spotify.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I mean that's the biggest one, but the rest of them you're probably probably double that when you count all the other ones like Tidal and Apple and YouTube. Yeah, so she's still getting it done, in that. You can't use the word icon in the 80s without saying Madonna. So, it's...
Yeah.
I'm definitely going to be Madonna weekend, Jen. I'm sorry. When we go somewhere, we're going to listen to the Immaculate Collection. So, and the Immaculate Collection, too. Not just Immaculate. So,
pretend like you're on holiday.
Yeah. Keep my car on the borderline. So,
Yep.
That's what I was going to say. You're going to drive across the borderline this weekend somewhere.
Don't preach. So.
Just be glad I'm crazy for you.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, I'm
You're
a lucky,
crazy,
I'm a
all
lucky star to have you. So, I'm glad you're like a virgin.
Yeah, definitely get a room.
Yeah. Anything you want to add to this, Jan? We talk about the music and stuff, but, as a woman and her, you got any, closing thoughts on that?
Well, no, it's something we didn't touch on.
Yeah.
I know we talked about, I'm probably the only person that likes her acting. In the 2000s, she, she didn't do any more acting or anything like that, but she moved to being producer and trying to film stuff. But she was the executive producer on the action film Agent Cody Banks in 2003.
Really?
And I love that movie.
Really? I've never seen that movie.
I never knew.
Ain't that one you watch with the kids? That sounds like a kid's movie.
Yeah,
Right?
you don't have kids.
I
That's why you
never
don't.
knew she was the executive producer for that.
Yeah.
So that cute little hat that I used to like to watch her wear in the 80s,
Yeah.
she wore a lot of hats. And she's very talented.
Yeah.
I still love her acting.
Wah, wah, wah.
Yeah.
Some people don't, but I do. But for her to be able to take on that role as executive producer and be a dancer and a singer, and she's just a woman of many talents.
And I'm not going to bring up the sex book she did. I think I brought that up before, but I did not mind as a teenager growing up in the 80s and 20-year-old in the 90s. And she was loose with the clothing. She was a good-looking woman, and she didn't mind showing it. I swear I would say this now. I think Miley Cyrus took a lot from Madonna because she's done that shocking stuff, and she's not prudish, and she's in your face. And I see a lot of Madonna and Miley Cyrus. I don't know if she looked up to her or anything, but am I crazy on that? I mean,
I can see it.
Yeah.
I can see it.
It's like
But we're living in a time where everybody tries to outdo everybody in the scandalous stuff and the oh my gosh stuff.
Yeah.
So
true.
Everybody's trying to do that.
Yeah, but
it's hard to shock now.
Yeah, it is.
It's hard to do that. It's been done so many times.
It is, but she was definitely doing some shocking stuff in the 80s.
Oh yeah, she was the ground. She broke the ground, or whatever you want to say. Yeah. She was the leader of the pack of that.
She was lucky enough though that she had the talent to back it up, because you can be you can shock people only so much before they tune you out, but you got talent to back it up. People are gonna stick with you, and they did. Yeah. And she's still getting it done. She could go out, tour, and sell out everything she's playing right now. She still tours. I think she was like in Europe or something not that long ago. But if she would do a big tour of arenas or stadiums right now with maybe like one other big name 80s thing, I would go see that. I would like to say I check her off my bucket list. I'd like to see that.
I can't believe neither of you are going to talk about her doing the theme song for the James Bond movie, Die Another Day.
I didn't know she did a theme song for it.
She did.
I wasn't a big James Bond fan, so I really didn't. The only one I know is View to a Kill. I love that song. That's the only James Bond. For Your Eyes Only, Duran Duran.
Duran Duran.
I know For Your Eyes Only, I know that song, but I wasn't a James. I probably caught grief from a lot of my friends too, because my friend Brandon's a huge James Bond fan, and I just tell everybody, I was a Roger Moore James Bond, and they roll their eyes, but it's like, that was the James Bond I knew. The only couple of James Bond movies I ever saw was the Roger Moore ones, and now I've seen clips from, and it's like, that's some cheesy crap.
You have to watch the either the original or the newer one. The
I
Daniel
did see
Craig
the
ones.
newer ones with Daniel Craig. Yeah,
They're
I
great.
did see those.
They're
Are good.
great.
Yeah. That'll wrap it up this week. You can't say a whole lot about Madonna that's not already been said before. But go out and listen to the Immaculate Collection after you hear this, and give her some spins because she deserves it.
Yeah,
And
she
maybe
does.
we'll watch League of Her Own this weekend, Jen. So
Okay.
I wouldn't mind watching that.
She actually did a cameo in that James Bond movie, so maybe I
Oh,
could
really?
watch that cameo too.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
Yeah,
we-
and no, I was just gonna say, if you watch League of Their Own, you've never seen it. One of the most famous lines in all of movie history is in that movie.
no crying in baseball.
You'll know it without ever seeing the movie. You've seen that 100,000 times.
Yeah. Yeah. The one I just said? Is
What
that
did you just say? I didn't hear it.
there's no
What-
crying in baseball?
Yeah, I guess it falls out or something. I didn't even hear
Oh,
you
yeah.
say that.
No. Yeah, there's no crying in baseball. Yeah, I've seen that clip
Yeah.
at least 1,000 times. Yeah.
That's iconic from that movie.
Yeah.
So
And I like Tom Hanks, so
Maybe I'll talk you into watching Agent Cody Bank.
we'll have the grandkids watch that with us. Will they like that?
My kids loved it, so
Okay, well,
the
there you go.
grandkids will probably love it too.
Okay. Who is in that movie, by the way? I know I've heard of that movie. Who's the
Malcolm
star?
in the Middle kid
That's what I
Thank you.
thought.
Yeah.
Okay. Did we not
and
watch that
Hillary
already?
Duff.
We may have.
I'm pretty sure we
Yeah, and
watched
Hillary
that.
Duff in it too.
Yeah, I think we've already watched it, or I've seen parts of it. So that's probably one you had saved in your DVR at your old house. so
Probably.
the girls probably was watching a little bit of it. Yeah. Yeah. That sounds like something we watched. But, I'll watch it with the kids again. So anyway, that'll do it on Madonna this week. Chris, you got anything to add?
Blown Duck Dome.
Thanks for the hard work I have to put in there again.
Yeah, it's so tough to push a button.
Yeah, I know. Jan?
Shine on.
The Pixel People Pod. Step, step, step inside. Rewind the future fraud. The Pixel People Pod.
Thank you for coming to our podcast.